that worked for me and that didn't work for me. That way you guys don't have to go through trial and error and figure it out. I'll just give you the shortcut to everything. Anyone else do anything fun? No?
I did the spirit run.
She did the spirit
Yay!
run.
You guys were no, we didn't do this
we were
year.
there the last year. She met us there.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, I have a, what was it?
Hand
Hand
sanitizer.
sanitizer.
Yeah.
See, when we do these events, it does reach people.
Nice.
Even a potential doctor who is now a doctor here.
Yes.
So the reason I asked about that is because, so this weekend was a very interesting weekend for me. So I had one of my friends since, I think I was in not elementary school, but in middle school, he passed away. And I had found out about it while I was at work, and his funeral was this Saturday. So I went. And it was very eye-opening that I saw my old friends I hadn't seen in forever. And I had seen so many people that I kind of forgot about, unfortunately. But then I was like, oh my God, oh yeah, I remember you. So it made me realize how much I have changed versus the person that they knew back before. I was a completely different person. Yeah, you know, as you guys know me, you know me, but they don't know me. And so they were very surprised to see how positive I was at a funeral. And it was because I went through a lot the last 7 years, and now I know more than I ever thought I'd ever want to know. So I want to teach you guys, I want to inspire you guys to become better than you were yesterday, in a sense that when I went to rehab, you guys know I went to rehab, right? So when I went to rehab, so I went to the funeral. Let's just start this way. I went to the funeral. I'm in high heels. I'm in work outfit, kind of, and people are in shock to see me because they didn't think I would be walking, talking. People who come out of a coma, people who come out of comas are brain damaged. I think I'm not brain damaged, but so that's a huge thing. So I'm not brain damaged, and I look this way. Meaning, if you guys remember the car, it was all over me. The knife, something, the shattered glass should have cut me. I shouldn't be like this. But I'm like this because I got the opportunity to live again. And when I went to rehab, it was a very, very awful time in my life. And there's 2 points in your life. And this happens to everybody. The moment you're like, I'm a victim or I'm a victor. I could have played the victim card really well. And I think everybody would have been my number one fan as a victim. My life is over, my fiance's this, my life, blah, blah, blah. I have to start all over again. I have to learn how to walk. I have to learn how to eat. I have to learn how to talk. I have to learn everything. But I said, oh, well. The second week of rehab, I took my high heels and I said, teach me. They said, she's crazy. And I said, why? I'm not ever going to walk in heels. I need to walk in high heels. I mean, I'm not going to walk in flats. I always have to walk in heels. So they taught me. So every single thing I did to this day has been a struggle. It was. And now I love it. And so my point of the story is when it gets tough, you get 2 choices in life. And depending on what you choose, that will be you. So I could have been the Tina who showed up that Saturday, really depressed and sad and, hi guys, yeah, everyone just dies. I could have been the Debbie Downer, or I could have been like, well, yeah, this happens, but how do you get over it? How do you become better? It's just a part of life. death is a part of life. So I don't know what we're like scared for. It's going to happen. So you have to know that it's a part of life and embrace it, and then live your life in the present. And I know everyone thinks that they do when they're in the present moment, and they're not. I promise you, you're not. And we'll go through these, and I'll explain why it's so important to be in the present moment. And when you think you're being present, you're really not. I'll give you, it goes deeper, but we'll go into it. So let's start with number 1. Wake up with gratitude, not attitude. So in the morning, what do you guys do? You wake up, you're probably like, oh, shit, gotta get up, gotta work, think about all the problems we have that day. Oh, I have to do this. You're already having a really crappy day the way you started it. Driving to work, oh my God, there's traffic, hit red light, red light, red light, red light. This sucks. Or you wake up and you're like, I'm so happy to be able to wake up, to be able to get out of my bed and wash my face. We have to be thankful that we have our legs, we have our hands, we're healthy. There are people who can't even do that. But we wake up and what do we think about? Our problems. Instead of waking up and thinking about your problems, wake up and think about what you're grateful for. Wake up that I can wake up. I'm able to wake up. My body knows that I have to wake up. My body is pumping blood throughout my body. My body is taking care of me living without me doing anything with it. So be grateful that your body is functioning, because a lot of people here we see their bodies aren't. They come into the doctor, my back hurts, my this hurts, my that hurts. Right now we're not there. Be grateful. Be grateful that you have another day to live. Be grateful that you have an opportunity to make an impact on someone today. You're not here by accident. No matter what your position is in life or in jobs, you have an impact on everybody. Like I said it from the get-go, from the janitor to the CEO, doesn't matter who you are. The impact you have on our patients is equal. If the janitor doesn't clean the bathrooms correctly, patients won't come because it's dirty. What are they going to think about our practice? Well, if their bathrooms are dirty, then everything else must be dirty. This is really gross. I'm not coming anymore. To the CEO, same thing. Doesn't matter. So you guys have to realize that your positions are valuable. Doesn't matter what you think that your position is not. You have to understand that it is, and you need to get you to the point of understanding that you're valuable. Now, this is another part where we can be a proactive person or a reactive person. Do you guys know what that means? What's a proactive and what's a reactive person? So let me tell you. So there is a stimulus and a response. The way that you respond to the stimulus is what makes you proactive or reactive. So let me give you an example. To be proactive, you get up, you brush your teeth, you're getting ready to go to the day, you planned it out, I know this is what I'm going to do, it's going to be a great day, I'm going to go in and have a meeting and it's going to be perfect. I got all my, ducks in a row, I have my speech ready, I have the homework ready that I'm going to pass out, I'm good to go. Yeah, got it ready. Reactive. I have to go to work and meeting. I don't even know what I'm going to do with this meeting. Why do I always have to do meetings? It's so stupid. That's a reactive person. The stimulus was the same thing. Coming to work. The proactive person is the positive person that goes, okay, yeah, what's the best part of it? The reactive is anything in the world that makes you react, you need to work on yourself. Meaning, you shouldn't be reactive to people. You need to be very stoic and calm. Because if you allow everything to give you a trigger response, you're putting the key to your life, to your happiness, to whatever it is you want to call, to someone else. So if I come in and I'm nice to you, you'll have a good day. But if I come in and I'm mean to you, you'll have a shitty day. No, my reaction to you should not affect you. If I'm being nice or mean has nothing to do with you. Your mood should not be dependent on outside circumstances. Your behavior should not be dependent on outside. It's always dependent on you. And the moment you accept that is the moment you grow. But there are people who say, oh, I can't do it because, I have kids and I have to go here and I have to do this. Excuses. There's a lot of people that have kids and do a lot more than I do because they've set a standard for themselves. Have you met those people that they're working 8 jobs and they're struggling, but they're figuring it out as they go? Because they've set a standard. If you set your standard that every month I want to have just enough to pay my bills, I promise you that's all you'll have. If that's your standard. If your standard is I want to have enough so I can go out and do whatever I want and not worry about money, then that's your standard. That means that no matter what you have to go through, you'll get there because that's your standard. If your standard is I have to go to the gym every single day, you'll go to the gym. Either you'll go at 4 o'clock in the morning or when you get off work, or you'll go in between work. Before I used to be obsessed with the gym. Like, I'm not kidding you, obsessed. I would go 3 times a day. And I worked full time at the Irvine Company. And Irvine Company is not easy to work for. You're late, you're out. You don't do your job, you're out. So I had to go to I was like, I have to go to the gym. I don't give a shit. I would go in the morning before I got to work. I would go at lunchtime. And then I would go after work. How do you do it? How do you do it? How do you have the energy? I had a standard that no matter what happens, my standard is 3 times a day at the gym. That was my standard. But if I didn't do it, I felt lost. Like, what am I going to do? I have all this free time now. What the hell? I didn't have anything to do. So you have to set a standard for yourself. When you walk out the door, you have to have a standard. So when you walk out, that's the way people are going to react to you. The way you present yourself is how they're going to be towards you. If you present yourself very calm, cool, collected, like you know what you're talking about, even if you don't know what you're talking about, but you speak with an education in the acknowledgement of the world, that you understand that not everyone is the same. You understand that things will change. You understand certain things that they come to you and they want to talk to you. They want to know what you know so they can understand, they can learn from you. And if you dress up like you are going to the gym and you go into an office meeting, you're going to be laughed at. Why? Because that's just not appropriate for what it is. You have to dress appropriately based on what you're doing. On the weekends, do you guys think I wear makeup? Nope, no makeup. Nothing. Hair in a ponytail, in sweats. That's me. Because I'm doing my own thing, which is I'm running errands, I'm researching, I'm going to different libraries, doing different things. So at that point, I don't care to wear makeup. But when I walk into this office, I will always wear makeup. I will always dress a certain way because that is who I am here. This is my costume. Everywhere you go, you wear a costume. So this is my work costume. When I go home and I do my own thing, I wear my Tina costume at home. Have fun doing nothing. Or if I go to a restaurant, I'll wear I'm prim and proper going to dinner. Or if I go out to like a bar, I'll wear, I'm wilding out. Nobody knows because you only know what you know of me. So you have to be very picky with who you react to because you have energy. Energy is just like money. We're all very, very careful with how much money we spend. Be careful with how much energy you spend. How much energy do you want to spend? You get 100% of the energy when you wake up. If you wake up and you're upset and mad about things that you can't control, you've 75% now of energy left. So you better be very careful of who you allocate that energy to. If you want it to be positive or if you want it to be negative. Because it's just like money. It's done at the end of the day. You must make more. Every day you wake up with a fresh new slate. So you have to realize that who you give your energy to and who you allow to affect you is your choice. And the way you react to it is, again, your choice. We have to, number 3, this is a big one, listen to understand. Not listen to respond. Do you guys know the difference between this? I'll give you an example. When you listen, how you guys normally listen and how we all normally listen is, okay, they're saying the same thing, but I gotta think, I remember saying that, okay, I see but I remember saying that. Yeah. You're not listening to what they're saying. You're just thinking of what you're gonna say in response to what they're saying. If you stop that chatter and you take a step back and go, what are they saying? Why are they saying it? Where is this coming from? Understand that person instead of react and give an answer. And I know here at work we do that too, where if I ask a question, someone will react and give me an answer. I don't want an answer. I want an answer that is the correct answer and not your knee-jerk reaction answer. Because your knee-jerk reaction answer is never going to be right. Because I've tested it out with every single one of you. None of you were right. Not that it matters, but that means you have to put time into it. Because when Dr. Rosham calls me and he wants like an answer, I used to give him knee-jerk answers all the time. That didn't work. You remember. We would, but now, I'll say, okay, I don't know, let me look. And I'll get back to it. If he wants the right answer, he knows that he has to give me the time. But if I ask, if I want the wrong answer, I'll tell you to give it to me right now. So there's a difference. You have to be very, very methodical when you listen to people. You have to understand, where are they coming from? Why are they saying what they're saying? Because one thing that if we can understand is everything that people do is in order to make themselves feel better than the moment before. The moment we grab water, I'll feel better once I have water. People who smoke, I'll have a cigarette, I'll feel better. That's why they keep smoking. Or beer, that's why they keep drinking beer. I'll feel better after this beer. I'll feel better after this beer. Shopaholics, I'll buy because I want to buy. But as soon as you buy it, it's done. You got to do it again. So these are things that you have to think about. You have to also, number 4, which is big, persistent. Everyone has to be persistent. If you are not persistent, you will not accomplish anything. Bottom line. I promise you. I know I've said this to a few of you, but you know when little kids are trying to learn how to crawl? And I use this analogy because it was so apparent to me. When I see Dean trying to crawl, he's just, going. This kid has been doing it for like 3-4 weeks now. He's like adamant. 3-4 weeks he's been trying to crawl. I think if any of us tried to do anything for 3 to 4 weeks and we weren't successful at it, we'd quit. So that just shows that persistence and determination will get you what you want. That kid's not going to give up because he doesn't know. Because what you guys give up on is the filter that you have from society. And I know this is going into a different thing, but you guys all have a filter of, I can't do this, I can't do that. You can do anything you want. He doesn't know because he doesn't have that filter yet, because no one said you can't do this. If every time you tried to crawl, someone's like, no, don't. He's never going to crawl. So that's why every time you're doing something and you're like, I'm going to give up, think of that kid. If he didn't, your kids. If that kid gave up, would he be walking? Would you be walking? Apparently, you guys aren't quitters. You're walking. Go back to that. And then we have this. This is my favorite. So this is where everything I say has science and everything backed up. Because I do not talk out of my tush just to talk. So we have, I love this. It's my favorite. So we have a reticular activating system in our brain. Do you guys know what that means? So a reticular activating system is a filter. I didn't know this, and now when I know this, it makes such a difference. So it's a filter that you have in your brain, and it filters on anything and everything that you could possibly think about. What you like, you don't like, everything. And so this filters everything to agree with everything you believe. So if you believe you're not good enough, every single day it will point out every single situation that you're not good enough to confirm your thoughts. That's all it does. If someone doesn't like you, if you think no one will ever like you, it will point out every single person that does not like you. That is why it's such an important thing on the reticular activating system. It does the confirmation bias. Because you think you're not good enough, it will confirm you're not good enough. It will do everything it can to show you that you're right, because it never wants to be wrong. That's why the filter is there, to only look at the things that match what it says. So, one of the biggest ways that you guys can change this is you're thinking, do you guys know how to change your reticular activating system? Do you guys know? That's it, guys. You're done. If you think you're shitty and you're no. There's a way to change it. So who wants to be, but this is, again, where all of these things come into play, that you have to be persistent. You might think that it's funny, it's a joke, or blah, blah, blah. But I'm up here as proof that it works. And I know you guys don't know me before the accident. But if you did, you would be like, oh my God, give me this right now. Because these are huge, huge, huge things I'm sharing with you that a lot of people don't know. Because they don't get to live again. And so you guys are we're all very blessed that we can all interact with each other. So one of the biggest things is you have to visualize. So when you find out what your insecurities are, like, oh, I'm never going to be good enough, I'm never going to be pretty enough, I'm never going to be thin enough, I'm never going to be smart enough, your brain, your subconscious doesn't know the difference between a real memory or a made-up memory. It has no difference. It does not even know. So when you guys get scared, you watch a movie and you guys get scared and you freak out, that's a confirmation that's showing you that your body doesn't know if it's fake or real. It reacts the way that it would react if someone was literally attacking you. Have you ever guys watched a scary movie and you freeze up? That's showing you that your mind doesn't know reality from fake. So tell yourself every single day, visualize what you want. Think about it, like, oh, I want to be, let's pretend, this really, really tall person, let's say I do. Really, really tall person. I can't imagine myself really tall, like visualize myself really tall. Well, what's going to happen when I'm tall? I'm going to feel so great, and feel it, how you felt if you were. I can't wait, like, oh, I'm going to be so happy when I buy a house. But how do you feel when you buy a house? Feel that way. And your mind doesn't know the difference. So then the more you do it, if you do it every single day for 21 days, that's the way that you create a habit. Then everything in your mind the neurons will be firing different ways. And they will start connecting new passageways in your brain, which will not confirm the negative thoughts, but it'll confirm your new belief of whatever it is. So you have to do that. That's all you have to do. If you think you're not, what is the insecurity? Someone that has. Name me one. Anyone? Everyone's really secure here, huh? Everyone's really secure?
I was on mute.
Do you have an insecurity?
No.
Don't you want new neurons firing? So one of the let's see, give me an insecurity. How about we'll use weight, because I don't know. So let's say I think I'm really, really overweight and not attractive. Then my reticular system will show every single situation where everyone is agreeing with me. Oh, that person didn't like you because you're big. Oh, that person didn't talk to you because it filters everything else. So I don't even hear it, see it, or touch it, anything. Only the negativity that matches me, that will come. But if I tell myself, and I practice it for 21 days, and I literally do this, I'll only get things that will go again. I'm very good looking. I'm so attractive. I have the best body. But you have to say it, visual it, feel it. I promise you, the next thing you'll say, someone's going to say you're going to need a modeling contract. That is how it works. Because every single negative thought that I had, I do not have again. Like, I cannot understand a lot of things that people get upset over. Not because I'm better, it's because I've only given my energy to the things that matter. And if something is a big deal that's happening at work that I can't control, which most of it I can't control, the attorney's calling. Who knows about these attorneys calling all the time? You guys are there in the phone room, and I can sit there and go, oh my God, my life sucks. Or I can just laugh because I know what they're going to say. This is all, it's funny to me. They don't want to pay me, which is funny that they think that they're not going to pay me. So I just find it very comical. And so whenever Dr. Roshan talks to me, he goes, he's like, you take things so, he's like, you don't take anything serious. I go, nothing is serious. If nothing is serious, what's the worst thing that could happen? They don't pay. Okay. So what? Obviously there's going to be repercussions for them, but is it going to kill me? Am I going to die at the end of the day? But no, because everyone right now is in fight or flight mode. And that means that you're constantly on guard because you think you're going to get attacked. As soon as someone says something, you're like, what? No. What? No. Oh, no, yeah, no. You shut up. You're on guard. That's why it's to me very amusing when I can see all of you, and when we talk, I can tell you're on guard because I'm at a point where I understand you guys better than most of you understand yourselves, because I can see through it. Not that you guys are faking anything that I can see through, but I see past it. That I know that, okay, the reason this person is acting this way is because they're feeling attacked, or they're feeling like their job isn't good, or they don't understand. That's why you have to take a moment and take a step back and go, okay, let me think about what they said. Let me not just respond. Let me actually digest what was said. Because when you realize and you digest what people say, it has nothing to do with whatever you were going to do a knee-jerk response to. So when people get upset and mad, and the girls on the phones know that it's not their fault, they're going to call and yell at them and then blame them for everything, but they didn't do anything. But they can get upset and mad and say, this job sucks because everyone's blaming me for everything. Yeah. But they take it with a grain of salt and they're like, oh, whatever, that's funny, that's cute that they think that. That's really cute. It's all right. Yes, I know. I'm so sorry. I know. I wish I didn't do that either. I know. I wish they didn't do that. I know. I wish your doctor would have told you the right answer. Yes, I know. And then when you say it the way it is, they think that you are putting them. It's funny to me because sometimes I'll just give you an example. When you say it the way it is, people get insulted. But the people that get insulted are the ones that need to take a step back. And why are you getting insulted? This is just a fact. What does this have to do with you? If you react to certain things, those are your weaknesses. Those are things that you should be working on. If someone says something to you and you react in a negative way, like I'm gonna kill that person. You have things that you need to work on. In the nicest way. Because there's nothing anyone could do to me at this point where I want to have that reaction to it. I've gotten very, very heated. You guys have all seen me. But every day, I try not to. Because every time I get heated, I give my energy to someone, and then I have no more. And then when I get home, instead of me hanging out with my parents or going on a date or not canceling a date, you know, I could go there instead of giving my energy to people that don't even, things that don't even need my reaction. Oh, I'm so mad that this person did that. Well, they did that. Now what? Why are you mad now? Is it because you just found out? Why are you, it doesn't make sense. That's why when people are like, oh, I didn't do this, are you mad? I'm not mad because I don't get mad. But if something happens at work where you guys know you didn't do it, I get disappointed for you guys. Because I know that if I let myself down, that is the worst thing ever. If I ever let myself down, it's the worst. I don't have a boss per se that checks on me. Dr. Roshan doesn't check on me. He'll do random things, but nothing like that. So for him to know that I'm not just sitting here doing whatever I want, I told him what I do with the liens, what's the least amount I'll ever accept, yada yada yada. Went into details. Not because he asked me, but because I respect him enough to let him know what I'm doing. You're paying me. So let me tell you what I'm doing. Yes, this place has grown. Obviously, yes, you can see the reaction, the fruits of the labor. But there's so much that goes on that you have to communicate with your supervisor, your boss, whoever. Because if you don't tell me, I won't know. And if I don't tell him, I can't do, sometimes it takes me a while to get back to him. And it's because, I have people coming in and out of my office. He doesn't know what that means. He's never sat in an office to understand that people are going to come in and out. He's out doing whatever he has to do. But I think one day he finally understood it, where he came in my office, I think it was last week, and people were coming in and out, which I loved it, because I'm like, this is what I need. You won't understand unless you experience it. And he was there for the experience of everyone coming in and out, in and out. And he goes, well, why do you stay so late? Like one time I was here till last week till 8:30. He was just getting out of a depot. So I got scared. I didn't know who it was. I kind of screamed. I'm like, oh, hey. He's like, what are you doing here? And I was like, water, what? But no, here now. I'm like, okay. Well, why didn't you do it before? I go, well, because I don't know how to do my job. Because I can't. I said, sometimes you just can't, because there are more pressing things you have to do than the things I normally do. And so that shows that I prioritize my time. I know what is urgent, important, and not important. What can I do later, and what can I do now? Because if you can do something right now, do it. Whenever Dr. Roshan texts me, or anyone, the doctor, or if Kayla wants something, or if you guys want something, if I can do it right now, I'll do it right now. Because I don't want to add it to my list of things that I need to do, because there's no point. If I can do it now, I'll do it now and get it over with. One thing I don't have to worry about. But if it's something that you guys are going to take that you can't do right away, yeah, put it by all means, put it on your list. But if it's something that you can do right away and just get it over with, why not do it right away and get it over with? That's how I look at it. And so I just hope that these tools kind of get you to think outside the box. And it's okay not to think the way everyone thinks. Because I don't think the way everyone thinks. I pride myself in being so out of the box and eccentric that I kind of want to dress that way so people know that this is not an accident. This was all calculated measures that I got to stand here and be who I am. This is not an accident. The makeup, the way I look, dress, talk, it's not an accident. It's persistence and wanting to be better and wanting to prove to myself that just because something happened to me that was the worst thing ever for most anyone, that's not going to take me down. I'm not going to play the victim. I'm going to be better. And I'm going to help others who are going to go through that or something similar to it to help them be better. So that's what I want you guys to take home is how can you do your things and how can you become more persistent and get rid of your negative thoughts and be more positive. Not that you guys are not, but I know that I thought I was so positive before. I thought I was Buddha. And I look back and like now when I hear people talk, I can't even hear it sometimes because it's so negative. But the funny part is they're not even aware that it's negative. And that's where, to me, it's sad. Where I hear someone say something and they all laugh, but for me, I'm like, that's so negative. I would laugh at that. So it's when you get to this point, you start seeing things and you're just like, ugh, and you take a stand on something that you want. And you realize that people making fun of people and making jokes and all that is not the nicest thing. And you have to be aware that with every single person, there's something going on. Nobody knew I had a funeral this weekend. Nobody knew I found out in the middle of work that someone passed away. Nobody knew that she's a widow